everybody and welcome to my channel. Today we're gonna be reading Violet the Pilot. It's written by Steve Breen. Everyone in town knew that Violet Van Winkle was a little different. For starters, she and her parents lived in an odd-looking house next to her junkyard her father managed. And while other girls were playing with dolls and tea sets, Violet played with monkey wrenches and needle-nose pliers. Violet was a mechanical genius. By the time she was 2, she could fix almost any broken appliance in the house. By 4, she could take apart the grandfather clock and completely reassemble it. Since she didn't have any friends aside from her dog, Orville, she could spend hours tinkering with things from their yard. Violet's parents were very proud of her, although they weren't too happy the time she put a lawnmower engine on her cousin's tricycle. The older she got, the more interesting Violet's creations became. Around the time she turned 8, she was building elaborate machines from scratch. And not any old machines. Flying machines! Her parents couldn't believe her eyes when they saw Violet zoom by for the first time. They were a little worried at the beginning, but they quickly saw that she was a pretty good pilot. Careful not to hit the house, Violet's father would yell. And put on a sweater, her mom would add. Violet used anything she could find in the junkyard to make her wonderful constructions. There was the top bubbler and a bicycopter, the pogo plane, the slide glider, and a wing-a-majig, to name a few. Engineering was pretty sound. Only the real hazards were tall trees, piles of junk in the yard, and bugs in her teeth. Kids at school would and make fun of her strange books and greasy overalls. Claude and Clyde Marooney were especially obnoxious. Then one day, Violet noticed a poster in the drugstore window. Air show October 20th. That's only 2 weeks away, Violet thought. Can the kids flying the show? Is a homemade aircraft allowed? That night, Violet sat in her room thinking about the air show. She knew it would be a good feeling if one of her planes won a prize. And maybe the kids at school would be nice to her. Violet pictured exactly where she would hang her blue ribbon. She and Orville spent the few days combining the junkyard for just the right materials. When they had collected a giant pile of stuff, the building began. One day the Maroney twins happened to pass the Hey, look, it's that girl from school, one of them said. What are you doing, weirdo? I'm building an airplane, she told them. The twins exploded with laughter and then mumbled something mean as they walked away. Orville barked at the boys, but Violet went to her project. Take it easy, buddy, she said. We're too busy to worry about them. Finally, after a few days of hard work, Violet had finished her flying machine. She named this craft the Hornet. Wait till the people see the grandstand see me fly. This, Violet said to Orville. The test flight was a success. On the day of the big air show, Violet took off, bursting with excitement. Her parents' faces beamed with pride when they wished her luck, and she thought about that as she flew through the autumn sky. She calculated that the trip would be 20 minutes. She would arrive just in time for the start of the show. Suddenly, something caught Violet's eye. In the river below, a group of people were waving frantically. Violet lowered her attitude to get a better look. A troop of Boy Scouts had run into trouble while canoeing. Violet knew she had to help fast. It was easy rescuing the boys, but Violet piloted the Hornet with careful precision. Saving the Scoutmaster from the falls was particularly dangerous. Violet dropped the grateful Scouts off at the hospital, and then she checked her watch. 3:30, she said to Orville sadly. "We've missed the air show." She turned the plane toward home and sighed. It was a miserable feeling. That night, Violet had no appetite for dinner. She just went upstairs and sat on her bed. All of a sudden, she heard lots of noise outside in the house, and then Orville went to the window and discovered a crowd of people gathered. Van Winkle stepped outside, squinting from the flashbulbs that were popping. The press, the mayor, the fire and police chiefs, the kids and teachers from school had learned the rescue that day and had come to praise her. "Young lady, please accept this medal veiler token from gratitude and esteem," said the mayor, "and give Orville a new color that license that's read Canine Hero." From that day on, Violet's parents let her fly whenever she wanted, but her mom still made her wear a sweater. The end. I hope you liked this book. Keep dreaming, keep trying, never give up. Bye. See you at my next video.